Hello kiddos, I hope you all are doing very good. So today unfortunately I couldn't switch on the video, but from the next session, okay, I'll possibly try. So today you can clearly hear my voice and my explanation. Okay, I hope that will work. So let us begin, children, without any delay. Today we are going to see about Coelenterata. Coelenterata. This is the phylum which we are going to see. I hope you all are very energetic. Yeah, having a high josh. Yes. So let us begin. Phylum Coelenterata. And what kind of strategy am I teaching you? I'm telling you, for every phylum know the general characteristic and typical characteristics, right? So now I would like to tell the general characteristics. Okay. So talking about the general characteristics, what are the points which should come to your mind? One is habitat and habit, right? Then you have the body organization, then body symmetry, body coelom, then germ layers and body plan, and then segmentation. So these are the points which you have to talk regarding the general characters. So habitat, children, talking about the habitat, they are mostly marine, like porifera only. But of course, freshwater is also there. Freshwater, the example will be hydra. Freshwater hydra. Getting it? Note it down. So they are mostly marine. And talking about the habit, they are solitary as well as colonial. Okay. And level of organization, tissue level. Body symmetry. What about the symmetry of Coelenterata? In the basic classification session itself, I have told you, right? I have given examples for every criteria, right? So talking about Coelenterates, they are radially symmetrical, right? Any plane passing through the central axis will divide the body into two equal halves. Any plane, okay? So they are radially symmetrical. Radial symmetry. Body coelom, they are acoelomate. Germ layer, they have two layers, so they are diploblastic. What about the body plan? They have blind sac, that is a single opening for both ingestion and egestion. Segmentation absent. Okay. So these are the general characteristics of Coelenterata. Now this name itself is very different, right? Now why have they called it Coelenterates? Correct? Why are they so referred as Coelenterates? That before that, children, why is it so referred as Coelenterata? And what is the other name? Okay, that we will see. And slowly we will see all the typical characters. So now, Coelenterata can also be called as Cnidaria. Why is it so called as Coelenterata? Because it has coelentron. Coelentron is nothing but the body cavity of Coelenterata. Okay, so this is nothing but the gastrovascular cavity it has. okay, for digestion and all. So because of that, it is referred as Coelenterata. And what is meant by nidaria? Very, very, very important. So these coelenterates have something called as nidoblast, or you can call it nidocytes. In simple words, I can call this as stinging cells. So let me give you a basic diagram here. Okay. So basically, this is how it is going to be. Okay. So what do they have? These are called tentacles. Generally, they have tentacles which will have some stinging cells called nidoblast. Okay. And this capsule which you see here is called nematocyst, which will have a poisonous substance called hypnotoxin. Hypnotoxin. So what they will do is that they will attack their enemy, right, or their prey with this, okay, with this chemical, okay. This hypnotoxin will come out through the stinging cells and attack the enemy. Okay, so basically this hypnotoxin will attack the, say the nervous system of the enemy. Okay, children, getting it? So why is it so called as coelenterata? Because they have a coelentron body cavity, which is a gastrovascular cavity. And nidarians, if you see, why are they so referred as nidarians? Because they have nidoblasts, called the stinging cells. Okay, yeah. And the nematocyst is a capsule which consists of the hypnotoxin. That chemical will be given out to attack the enemy. Right? As I already told you, Hydra is a good example, and coral reefs and all. We'll see that. Okay. So, yes, let us talk about the typical characters. Okay. So, talking about the typical characteristics. Yeah. So, there is something called alternation of generation, or you call it metagenesis. What is this now? So basically they can exist in two forms. One is like this cylindrical body type, we call it polyp. Okay. Another one is like an umbrella shaped one. This is called medusa. So there are two forms in which they can exist. Okay. Polyp, which is nothing but cylindrical body type. Usually they'll be sessile. What is sessile? Sedentary, attached. The base will be attached. They cannot move. And they will show asexual means of reproduction. Whereas medusa, if you see, it will be umbrella-like. And they will be free swimming. And they will show sexual mode of reproduction. Okay. And one more thing, the polyps will not have no statocyst. Basically, statocyst is a structure which provides body balance, okay, while moving during locomotion. Since they are sedentary, they don't have the statocyst. Whereas the medusa types will have statocyst, which gives them body balance during locomotion. So these are the two types which exist, in the coelenterates. Okay. Now talking about this, how they can exist in both the polyp and the medusa form. What is exactly happening, right? What is alternation of generation here? So I'll tell you that. The medusa, right? This is the umbrella form. So this will reproduce sexually to form polyps. So when I say that the medusa reproduce sexually to form polyps, what do I mean? They produce the gametes, okay, the male and the female gametes. Say if this is the male gamete, this is the female gamete, which is haploid and haploid. They form the diploid polyp. Okay, now this polyp will reproduce asexually through budding, okay, and form medusa. Getting it? So the good example for this kind of re, you know this kind of alternation of generation will be obelia. So we call it sea fur. Okay, obelia is the example. Getting it, children? So this is called alternation of generation or metagenesis. So medusa will undergo sexual reproduction to form polyp. Polyp will undergo asexual reproduction to form medusa. So what are the rest of the things? So the important typical characteristic is the alternation of generation, which we saw now. The rest, let me write it here. Talking about digestion, what else? Respiration, then excretion, then what? Reproduction, sorry, circulation. Let me write circulation. Then about reproduction, then development. We're talking about digestion, both extracellular and intracellular. Actually, extracellular followed by intracellular. Okay, and respiration, excretion, circulation, and all, if you see, through general body surface. GBS is general body surface. Reproduction, both sexually by producing gametes and asexually. What are the asexual means by which? As I told you, budding, regeneration, fragmentation, all those things. Okay, and development, definitely it is indirect development because larval stage is present. So talking about this development now, children, you have to always name the larva, which is very important. So Aurelia is jellyfish, which is a good example for coelentrates. So Aurelia has a larva which is called Ephyra. Apart from Aurelia, you have Obelia, whose larva is called Planula. So these two are examples of the larva name. So that it proves that they undergo indirect development. Apart from that, I just wanted to tell you a little information regarding the classes. Okay. So under this phylum, you have 3 classes. Okay. Let me write that. The classes under Coelenterata, if you see, Hydrozoa, Scyphozoa, and Anthozoa. Okay. So according to the classes, let me give you the examples. So for Hydrozoa, of course, you can write Hydra, Then you can write Obelia, which is sea fur, and then Physalia. Physalia, we call it Portuguese man of war, which will be like a Portuguese man who's ready for war. It will be like a Portuguese man wearing a big hat and all. So it will look like that. And then Scyphozoa aurelia, that is the jellyfish. And for Anthozoa, you can write Gorgonia. Gorgonia is sea fan. It looks like this China fan, right? Hand fan. And then Penatula, which is sea pen, which looks like a pen. And then Meandrin, which we call it brain coral. Okay, it will, the coral reef will look like a brain. Okay, that's all regarding Coelenterata. The very important thing is about the nidoblast, the stinging cells, and the alternation of generation. So keep that in mind. Okay, so that's all for today. Let's meet in the next class. Before that, let me give you the homework question based on the lecture. You can put in your answers in the comment box. Um, First question I can give you is, give one example of polyp, give one example of medusa. Okay, and then secondly, you have to tell me what kind of digestion takes place in Coelenterata. Alright children, put your answers below in the comment box. Yes, we'll meet in the next class, and that will be about Ctenophora, which is nothing but comb jellies. Alright, bye bye, take care.